real estate agents, but we'll just kind of get going. To introduce myself, I'm Brady Summers. I am the director of operations for Seasons Real Estate. It's a small team. We mainly are out of the Mapleton office. We were in this office for almost 10 years. And then Becca, my wife, who's our rainmaker, she got in with the owners and like she helped build that Mapleton office. So now she works out of Mapleton. I now work out of our house because I didn't want to drive from Highland to Mapleton every day. So we have one other agent on our team. It's actually my mom. And then we have a transaction coordinator, licensed transaction coordinator, and a virtual assistant who helps us with social media graphics and stuff. And yeah, so I do all of our 36 touch, all of our event, yearly planning, basically everything we're going to talk about today in the strengthens relationships session is going to be what I do. And there's a good part of this where they want us practicing the calls and everything, but I'm going to deviate a little bit and show you more of what I do with our business, how, because right now I'm actually in the process of setting up our plans for 2025 and kind of show you how I did it to make it a lot more systematic so that it's easy to execute. Because I think that's the hardest part is we build these plans and then they're so lofty that it's hard to do it when we're busy. So I've been doing this officially for almost 5 years now. I joined her in January 2020. I was a robotics engineer for Flash in Lehigh, and they went through a divorce and offered voluntary severance, and I took 6 months pay to come and join her in real estate. So it was 2020, so almost 5 years. So and I look back all the time. I loved my for my family life. So I'm the one who goes home 2:30 when the kids get out of school and get them off to school and do all the things. So it was a huge shift in she went from being the kind of the primary care to now I'm the primary care and I just support the business. And so that's awesome. So it's been good. And yeah, I do love the parts of the business I get to work in. So get it to change slides. Oops, I just broke it. That's wonderful. Fantastic. By the way, I have no idea how to use Max at all. Oh, there we go. Okay. So today we're in the third section of lead follow-up, which is strengthen relationships. And this is going to be the agenda for today. We're going to establish the mindset, identify the goals of this, devise the plan, and then we'll go through the recap and ahas. And that's kind of when we'll hop into how I have set my team's 36 touch and kind of break it down, hopefully simple enough that you guys can implement it as well. So to establish the mindset, this says, know that growth comes from clarity, priorities, and focused action. So let's talk about what a lead is versus a contact. Do you have an idea of what that is?
Lead is somebody that, to me, a lead is somebody you've never met, haven't really spoken to. Contact is somebody that you got to, you're starting in stages of the relationship.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
To me, a lead is like a willing or able buyer who are looking to get into real estate, and contacts are just people that you know that are in phone, aren't really looking to buy or sell or anything.
Okay. Yeah, I can agree with both of those. For me, I would kind of hybrid it. I feel like a lead is somebody who you've in some way contacted or been in contact with because they have expressed some need, either now or in the future. And then contacts are just the people that probably know who you are, rather more of a two-way relationship than a single way relationship. So today we're not going to be talking so much about the lead capture or the lead generation, lead capture, whether that be prospecting or marketing. We're going to be focusing more here in this relationship management. That's where we're going to take the leads. We're going to work on making them contacts and helping strengthen the existing relationships. And then we're going to prepare those contacts for conversions. And then from there, they're going to go down into becoming new or repeat clients and also giving you referrals, which will then put them back into this relationship management. Have you heard the stat on how often we need to remind people what we do in real estate, that we're in real estate? The stat that I've heard that I think it comes from MREA is every 12 days, people need to be reminded what we do or we'll start forgetting about us. And it's the people who are closest to us may not need to be reminded as often, but the people, like your friends' spouses probably forget what they, that you're in real estate because you're just not constantly in contact with the spouse and stuff. So it's every 12 days we need to be in front of these people so they don't forget about us, so that when real estate or need arises, we're the person who they think of, the first or second person.
So that was in MREA?
I believe that's in MREA. Yeah, I love the MREA. I read it 4 times a year. When I was first started, Sarah Reynolds, who's one of the big teams, she runs empowered home teams out of Washington, D.C., I think is her area. She was on stage or something and said, so I think it was 2019 family reunion. She said, I look at MREA as school, it's my education. And every year it's like the first time I read it's grade 1, second time I read it's grade 2, third time. She's like, so, until you get 12 times you've read it, you're still in high school range. So I was like, great, I'm going to expedite this. So every quarter now I listen to it. I listen to it 3 times a year, and then I physically read it once a year, just as a, every time I'm in a different spot of my business. So I love it. It's even at a small business, like if you're not planning on taking it to this big team type stuff, there's still so much that's really valuable about all of the systems that they're laying out. Is very, yeah.
First time reader here, so.
Yeah, it's awesome. I would say just don't get discouraged as they're talking about huge models. Find ways to make what they're saying small and implement it into your life.
Huge models.
Like they're towards the end, they're starting talking about like receiving $1 million. How do you build a team that receives $1 million? And ultimately, what you're trying to accomplish isn't necessarily that as the goal. It's glamorous. It sounds cool, but it's the systems that get someone to that, still work it at a small level. If your goal's 500,000, it's still the same systems are going to work, and it's really simple, just not easy. So it's just sticking to the plan. Yeah, it really it's wild. Like I'll sit and meet with people who are on big teams, being like, how do I go to the next step? And then I come back out of it, and I'm like, just met with Mikkel Beck, and I'm like, I don't know how she made the jump from where they were a small team to this big team. Like, it's so overwhelming, and it's like, all right, let's just break it down one step at a time, and we'll figure out what we need to do. But yeah, so I believe they sell it at the front desk.
I'll tell you the best place to go now. Books. And we sell used books and new books. This was in very good condition. When I got it, I was, it was like brand new, it was $4. And I bought, What to Say. There's another book, What to Say, and I just bought 4 more from them. It's like $15 for.
And it was on what?
It's called World of Books. I
Well,
think they're in the UK, so the shipping takes a few days, but seriously, man, I bought the, real estate investor.
but you can also.
Yeah, I believe they do sell them at the front desk as well. I also, every time I go to DI or Savers, I look for them, say about 2-3 times a year, I find them there and I just pick them up. It's, you know, always good to have extra copies. And I also have a copy on Audible so that I can listen to it because,
I thought about that too.
yeah.
Podcast, I can't sit down and read.
Mhm. Yeah, I struggle with my physical reads just because it's like I don't have time, but I drive so much that I read or listen to books. Like I think I'm at 52 books that I've listened to this year that are all first reads. I haven't read those books before, and then I pepper in other books that I listen to every day. Certain books I just love to re-listen to. So leads versus contacts. Leads, you have the right to a one-way conversation. So they're somebody who has expressed the interest. You have a reason to contact them. And then contacts are you're engaging more in a two-way conversation and you've built a value-based relationship with them. So the way it works is they come into your database. Sometimes they come in directly as a contact, but a lot of times they'll come in as a lead, and that's where you're going to be forming a relationship to create them as a contact, and then you're going to prepare those contacts for conversion. So this is where you're going to be maybe offering something like a free CMA, a comparative market analysis on their property, or doing some type of education based for first-time home buyers, potentially people at open houses. These are things that are going to be leads and that you're trying to get further into the process of being a two-way communication with them. So if you focus on building relationships and take market share. Right now is a really good time in the market with all of the struggles and difficultness that the market is providing. The agents who survive through this will come out on the other side with more market share than they had going into it. So comparing this kind of to 2013, the post Great Recession timeframe, that's when my wife got into the business. Her first year she closed, I think it was 14, and has never, well, I shouldn't say never, year after year, her numbers just keep growing. And it's just because every year, the longer she's established, you're just taking more and more market share by keeping in touch with your past clients. Silence my phone. So we're going to start with the mindset that today's conversation is tomorrow's transaction. Once you meet your new contacts, you either do business with them immediately or you don't. Either way, once you've met them, you put them in your database and stay in touch with them forever. It comes from Shift, which is another one of those awesome books. So let's talk about the goals. Lead follow-up consists of lead generation, lead follow-up plus lead conversion to equal transactions. And we're going to be focusing here on this lead follow-up and lead conversion. So the goals of today, learning how to convert contacts to close business, how to stay top of mind. So real estate, the mind share positioning. This graphic shows that sellers, when they go to hire an agent, 74% only interview one person. 15% interview two people, and then anyone who interviews more than that is 11%. So basically, you've got an 89% chance of getting the client if you're one of the first two people to interview. So if you're the top two agents they think of, you're likely going to get the business. And then buyers, the number's 75 and 15. So that's what, 90%? Yeah. And then everyone else is 10%. And then leverage for mindshare, or leverage mindshare for referral business. So this is where you're going to take the people that you're talking to with your 36 touch and remind them to send you their friends and family who are thinking of real estate as well. Do we have any ahas so far? No? The way we stay in touch with people, and I'll show you our full 36 touch in a minute, but the way we do is social media. Especially early on, we were heavily focused on Facebook in the beginning. We're now everywhere, but that's been 10 plus years. Basically, we picked one social media platform that we were, it was our generation that was, Instagram wasn't very big yet. So it was Facebook for us. And basically she went and friended all of her clients, her friends, her parents' friends, and just would constantly do the 135? Can't remember if we've talked about it yet, but basically she would post daily or direct message people. She would comment on people's posts, just trying to stay top of mind. If anyone had any real estate questions, she'd pop into their posts and just comment, coming from a place of contribution. So now we're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. So we're kind of everywhere, but it's still we just use it as our way of being in front of people all the time. Outside of that, we do our monthly or bi-monthly or monthly or twice a month emails in events. So we do a lot of, we honestly don't call our database on our team. Well, my mom does, my wife does not. She texts people for events, and so we do a lot of events because that's how we stay in touch with people. So
how much time do you guys dedicate per day to social media? You can get out of that.
Yes. So currently, so in 2020, I took over Facebook from her. She still does her Instagram and TikTok, and then I do YouTube. In 2020, we accidentally went viral on our Facebook page. Like overnight, we went from 700 people to 22,000, and that's been a problem. It's we're now not just talking to the people who already knew and liked us. So we actually have hired her sister to do funny Facebook posts because that's what a lot of the followers came to us from. So we're still doing those every day, and that is about probably 4 hours a week, I think, that we're paying her to do those funny things. And then we put one educational or something post, and that's probably 10 minutes a day for that one. And then we also have a virtual assistant who does all of our editing for like TikTok and stuff. So I would say everyone's time, we're probably putting 20, 25 hours, but that's across every platform a week. But like, to be honest, if I were to start today, I would probably pick Instagram because it seems to be more of where everyone's at right now. And I think I would probably spend 30 minutes a day posting, commenting, and just following with people, just, doing stories. It really doesn't have to be a lot. And I would just start on one social media until it gets to where I'm doing it without really thinking, and then maybe pull in another one at that point in time.
But you kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
You make sure for content is very different.
We sometimes share. So with Instagram, no, we sometimes share, but most of the time ours are separate. Yeah, yeah. So we'll sometimes put our Instagram content on Facebook if it's like a good video or something that's really educational. But it's yeah, I don't know if we're doing it the correct way though. It's working, but it's just I don't know if it's the most.
Yeah, one Angel. For the class?
Yeah, they got another class going on at 10:30 in the other.
We would be sitting out there for the last. I'm gonna go find class. That's good.
You know, like. So when you post something that's out, make sure you're on the brand. Just like on that, because it takes all that into account.
Yeah. Yeah, so social media, their whole platform wants you to be on and engaged. Like they make money based off of how long they keep people on the platform. So if they're coming in and like you're coming in, posting, and then leaving immediately, their assumption is, oh, he's going to post this on a different platform. So, they're gonna not push it as much. Where if you are in there and you're like that was actually part of when we realized we had this post that was going viral. We went through and we commented back to almost every comment. We just kept putting time, like we had 3 of us going in actively commenting as the business to people who are commenting about it, and just to keep Facebook pushing us, relevancy, which once again, I don't know if I would do that again, but it was a fun experience. But yeah, I don't know if there's the value. I'm just gonna take a step back so we can kind of to explain where we're talking. We haven't gotten to any of the real meat and potatoes, but today's course, we're talking about strengthening relationships so that the people in our databases can go from leads to contacts to closed business. So we haven't gotten too far into it. So the goals for today, we're going to be able to convert contacts to closed business, remaining top of mind with our databases, and then leverage the mind share for referral business. On this slide right here, part of the staying top of mind, basically what this graphic is showing us is that close to 90% of buyers and sellers interview 1 or 2 agents at the most before picking somebody to work with. So we just really want to be the number 1 or number 2 person that they think of when they have a real estate need or question. Okay, so now we're going to get into kind of setting up the plan on how do we create this 36 touch. Have you heard what a 36 touch is? Have you heard that term before? No? Okay, so a 36 touch, sometimes it's 33 touch. Basically, it's how frequently we need to be in contact with people to remind them that we are in real estate. Some studies have said that every 12 days, people need to be reminded what we do. And then the others is either 33 or 36 kind of different touches that we're going to set up in advance so that when we're planning our days, we know who we're going to contact so that we can stay in touch with these people. The way Keller has set this up is that it takes about 19 contacts to cement them and connect them into your database, and then it's going to take about 36 to convert them. So the first 19, you're going to talk about quarterly phone calls. So that's every 3 months, contacting them, phone call, text, something. Then you're going to have 12 touches. These are going to be things like monthly email, a newsletter, a market report, a video. Then you're going to have 2 touches that are going to be something like a promotional direct mail, a magnet calendar, printed market report, comparative market analysis, and anything like that you can physically send them that they can hold in their hands. And then you're going to do 1 touch, which will be like an annual event, a party, a movie screen, get together. And then the 36 to convert, this is going to be those same quarterly telephone calls. Then you're going to have 26 bi-weekly email offerings, some type of information of value to the customer. 2 touches, these are going to be events, get-togethers, parties, and then 4 touches, promotional direct mail, such as a magnet calendar, market report, etc. Once we get through this, I'll actually show you our team's plan, how we do this. We don't do a lot of calling, like just calling just to chat type stuff, which is not what is traditional in this business. So we do a lot of events to give our agents excuses to contact their database. Having that reason for them to, send a text, hey, we've got this pumpkin patch event coming up. And the cool thing with Keller is they do give us those 2 events, the pool party and pumpkin patch every year, that helps offset the costs. This year, well, the last couple of years, our team has done our own pool party where we rent like the Linden Aquatic Center, and it actually costs us more per person than it would to take them to Seven Peaks with the office. So it really is awesome, especially when you're newer building your database, being able to buy, have it subsidized basically with the quantity that the office is getting. And then this here, you're going to want to cement. This is going to be a high value touch that solidifies their relationship and helps open the door for future interactions.
Can you give me an example of that?
This would be something like having them like if you were to do a generic post maybe on Facebook that said, hey, I'm doing comps on houses. House prices have gone up. Let me know if you'd like to know what your home's worth. If they reach out, connect with you, that's going to cement you in as their agent. We had when my wife first started, she did that type of post on Facebook and had 2 of her parents' friends reach out. And at this point in time, between both of them and all of their kids and all of the transactions, we're somewhere close to 20 transactions in the last 10 years because of that one Facebook post. Because she just did a CMA. They had no intention of moving. They were in big, nice family estates up in Highland. So like they were really nice homes that I didn't think either of them would ever have moved. And now both of them have, and we've worked with every one of the kids that has bought or sold. So it's just about providing value and then staying top of mind after that point.
This is for your contacts.
Yes, this is for your contacts. You have a follow-up question? So that's good. I'm really good at squirreling back and forth. Okay, so here we're going to kind of craft the message. This is going to be you're going to use the 6 connecting questions: the who, what, when, where, why, and how when you're contacting people. Some people use the frog method or the Ford method, really focusing on the person you're contacting, their needs, their work, their family. Then you want to include a MOFR, which is the make offer for immediate response. So this is going to be something, hey, do you need a CMA if you're talking to a potential buyer? Could I interest you in a seminar that teaches you about the buying process? Just any type of MOFR that's going to help them reach out and interact with you. So develop your 36 touch plan. This is where you're going to plan your year contacts. And right now I'm actually doing this for our team for 2025 because going into January, I want to know what goes out when and what my emails are, what my postcards are, all of that. What I'm gonna do is actually pull up, if I can figure out how to get out of this. I hate, just gonna drunk drive around a whole bunch. There we go. No, figure it out. Let's. Log in. So this is our, I don't know if I can make it bigger or not. Really don't like this bar being here. I don't know how to get that to, oops, to disappear. So this is our marketing plan that we are for this current year. And the way I've, oh my heck. The way that I've built it is that I've got my client events, monthly postcards, what we're doing around each event, the annual mailers that are going out, monthly market emails, Club 92, which I'll explain in a second, and then social media. Club 92 is our past client and referral partners. So if we've closed somebody, they get them automatically put into our Club 92, or if they have referred somebody who's closed. So there's a dozen or a couple dozen people that we've never actually sold or helped buy or sell a house that are in our Club 92 because they've referred their friends or family to work with us. With our Club 92, we have several client-only events. We do first in, like, they're the first ones who are invited to our parties, and then we do a month. I hate this stupid computer. Then we do a monthly email that goes just to them. This year, actually for the last 2 years, every month we've been doing a drawing giveaway. So all they do is open the email, sign up, and then they're entered to win. So like this month we did Jim Gaffigan tickets to his event that's this week. I know exactly. So that's the reason that the 36 or the email that way is it trained our people to open their emails. So our open rate is like 81% open rate on the Club 92 emails, and then we've got a 65 or 67, I can't remember right now, on our other monthly email. So
yeah. Most of this through command, not most of this, but like your monthly emails.
Yes, we run all of our whole database, everything is run through command. I do pay for a different email editor. It's called strippo.email. It's not necessary. Like for probably 9 months I used command. I just didn't like the formatting of it. I'm weirdly particular about how I wanted my email to look, and I found that through this company Strippo, I can create a template and basically just duplicate it and add stuff. So the way our emails are set up is using the disc profile. So I went in and kind of researched what each personality type of the disc profile would want. So like for the Ds, they're very direct. They want to know what's going on. So the top of our email, it says everything that's going on out in that email. So it says, what's in this email. The first things always are events, which is actually for our social personalities. We have a list of the events coming up, so they have something to look forward to. We have market statistics, and then we have a market snapshot. And every month that template is the same, so that it's just consistent. And that for our C personalities, so they know they're getting the same. When they open that email, there's no surprises. It's just very simple. And I believe because of this, our open rates are huge, and we have very low unsubscribe rates. So we send out. So our monthly marketing emails we send out on the third Thursday each month. I don't remember where I saw a statistic, but Thursdays are the most opened and least unsubscribed days of the week. So that's Thursday. Monday's actually the worst unsubscribe rate.
And you said Strippo?
Strippo.email. Yeah.
And that helps you break down the analytics of it? Like you said?
No, Command actually gives me all the analytics. So I don't know my login, but period. So Strippo, I don't know how, is just a drag and drop email editor. I don't know if it's going to show much here, but like it just helps design the graphic. And from there, I just go and plop it into Command. Actually, you know what? I can just log into Command real quick.
Oh, it's free. You pay for the service, or you?
I think after I think I had to pay. Oh, I know I pay. It's like 14.
Sure.
Yeah.
So on one of your annual reports, you sent out, so you're saying
You want me to go back to it?
yeah, the settlement statements.
Okay, so the settlement statements are, these are if they've closed between, if they close from, trying to think. Yeah, we send them their settlement statements. Some of the title companies will send a digital copy. We send we actually, I think it's just the previous 12 months. I'm the one who does this, and my brain's like, I don't remember. It's been a year since I've done it. Yeah, so January, I go through and I print out their settlement statement, and I print a little letter that just says, hey, when you're getting ready to go to your taxes with your meeting with your accountant, here's all of your information that from the buy or sell of your home. They'll know what to do with it, type of thing. I would say it's not really necessary. It's just simply a way to, they get all their closing documents. They should have it digitally, but it's an excuse for us to contact them and remind them that we're in. And if they've worked with other agents, they've never gotten that before. And this year we actually had one that I sent it out, and like it was sometime between the time that I'd put it in the envelope and when they received it, we actually got a text from a client saying, hey, how do we get this? And I was like, yes, it will be in your mailbox in the next day or so. Cause like I'd already, my wife was like, oh, we don't need to send it out this early. I'm like, I'm a planner. We do need to send it out this early because I'm planning my taxes already first week of January. So that's, so yeah, I don't think most clients would expect it, but to me, it's just an easy way to remind them and to provide value when there's nothing you know, that in their mind, they're done with us because they've already transacted. But here I'm sending you something for no reason other than just to help you out. Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Being able to write off the interest on your taxes is huge. So yeah, I definitely think that's, you know, a great touch for your clients that have just closed. So let's see if I can remember this. So yeah, I run with Command to send my emails. I do smart plans. There's two different ways to send emails. You can use smart plans, or I can't remember the other one. I used the other one for a long time and it worked wonderful, and it's easier. Campaigns. But somewhere in the documents I read that the smart plans don't get marked as spam as often. So I like just reading through Command stuff. I don't know why that is, but so I changed over. I actually have one going out because tomorrow is the third Thursday of the month. So you can see here, here's our monthly newsletter smart plan. It's going to go out to 1,021 people. I can, you know what, we'll just go into designs. So this is where you would design the email, or if you're importing it the way that I did, you can import it here. So this is the email that I send out. And like I said, the only things that changes is like the format stays the same every month. I change the header to something that's seasonally relevant, what to expect in this email. So it's gonna just have upcoming events. Sometimes I'll throw another section of, like last month I had the pumpkin patch sign up. You know, it was here so that they could sign up, and it was usually here at the top of the email before the upcoming events. So we've got, I try to keep the next 3 events in our stuff where I don't have next year's plan yet. It starts to look like this, but come January, February, there'll be like 6 events planned out here, just so people can see. I do statistics, and then I just kind of show where it was last month and where it's increasing. We're not allowed to put interest rates in our emails, just so you're aware, because I was not aware until one of my lender friends said, hey, don't put interest rates in your emails. And I said, yep. So, and then I do a kind of a what we're seeing in the market update. Sometimes I throw videos in here. A couple months ago, I found a video of Barbara Cochran who was talking about home prices aren't going to drop. So I threw just a quick video in here directly from YouTube, just so that someone else can tell them the same thing that I'm telling them without it coming out of our mouths. Yes.
I've got a couple of questions for you on that. So are you creating those in like Canvas and bringing them over?
That's what I'm creating in Strippo. You are 100% able to do this same way through Canvas or Canva. So if you come and I think it's, I literally did this yesterday and I can't remember if it's in.
Very important to bring it over. Let me ask you another question while you're doing that. When I sign in Command, I feel like a movie and there's so much stuff. Where do you feel is probably the best, most broken down, productive resource for navigating what to do first, what to do next, and where you find those?
There's 2 places. One, YouTube. There's a guy named Marty Miller who does tons of KW command trainings like that. They're out there. I think he does 66-day challenges. I did a lot early on trying to learn. And then here in Command, Marty Miller, I believe is his name.
It is the 66 page. It's every day it's like a 10-minute video. We're in open Discord. He goes down and walks you through all of the different. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, Marty Miller with KW is his username. The other place is this here. If you click connect here, there are videos and documents and stuff here that like you can come in and you can see different browse all learning stuff. And this is just tons of learning. It's pretty cool. So back to the campaigns. If you're pulling in, this is way off topic, but if you're pulling in an email from that you've designed elsewhere, you'll just hit create design. Say I want to do as an email. And then here you can import the HTML and it's going to pull up an HTML editor that you just copy everything that comes up here and paste your HTML over it. And then it looks the exact way you designed it. So that's how I do it. But the command email editor, it works fine. It's just, it's not my favorite. So I pay a little bit to not deal with it. And then the other email, like I was saying, our monthly email, this is what it looks like. And once again, it's the exact same format. It's got a header image, what to expect in this email. Here's the entry form, upcoming events. I throw previous winners in and then we did a giveaway for at our pumpkin patch event. So I throw a video of that in there, even though most people have already seen it on social media. So that's our two emails. So the one of them, the Club 92 goes out on the first Thursday. The email to everyone goes out on the third Thursday so that I'm touching the most important people twice a month and everybody once a month. And then client events, if they're red, they're usually Club 92 only. So like this thank you card, it's just a handwritten thank you card. It's not really an event, but it's I put it there. I'm sending out postcards monthly. Basically, when I'm setting up my stuff, I look at it, okay, to begin with, we initially were doing 2 events. One was called Death by Chocolate, used to be in February. It was an office sponsored event where it was like adults only and you'd go and mingle around chocolate fountains and it was fun. But and that one and a summer party in a park. And now the office is pivoted to doing the pool party and the pumpkin patch, which I actually think are better events. So I would start with those 2 and say, okay, here's before those go out, I'm going to send out a postcard to sign people up. I'm going to send texts and start building it out that way. Yeah, so this is my 36 touch. Basically, it's a 47 touch. I track how many times I should be contacting each person. And then this is also going to be, which isn't broken down here, it's the quarterly contacts, but most of our quarterly contacts come around the events, which we do a ton of events. Next year, we're only going to do 6 just because the market's been down for long enough that my budget dictates that I need to do less. So any questions on that? Figure out how to get back to the other tab. Here we go. There we go. So any questions on what you need to be adding when you're developing a 36 touch plan? So smart plans. This is one of the Keller Williams things that you can set up in command that will help you make those contacts. There's a ton already in the library that you can go through. Like if you're wanting to add people to a quarterly call plan, you can just add the smart plan. One thing that they're on YouTube, there's a video on the Westfield page. There's a video called The Bold Method Database. I can't remember the title, but it was Josh Barrett and he teaches you the bold method, which has a different name as well, and I can't think what they call it. But basically, you go in and you put characters of the letters. I actually can show you on mine. Come in here and go to our contacts. Yeah, Josh Barrett. He taught the class. It's really good and quick on how he sets up the teams he's been on, tags. So, for example, this is an A and W tag, and so anyone with the first name with an A or a W would get assigned that tag, and then you go in with your smart plan and you assign that to week 1, and week 2 will be B and whatever. And someone went in and figured out the mathematical like probability of having about the same amount of contacts with the letters, so that it's fairly even, so that you don't have 1 week that you have a ton of contacts and then the next week you don't. And basically what that'll do is you'll go and put that onto a smart plan with those tags. I'm not sure if I have a smart plan for it right now, but I'll look. And what it'll do is in command on Monday morning, all of a sudden you'll have tasks to, so like 8x8 new contact. What it'll do is it'll tell you, okay, well, no, I guess let's see if we can just find the quarterly call. It'll just pop up that these are the people you need to contact this week. And so then Monday morning, you have a list of people that you could need to contact that week. And as you do it, you just go and check the box saying that this has been done. So right here, this quarterly call plan. A few steps. So quarterly call, contact first name, last name, and then it's just going to update this every 91 days. So basically, if you break down the alphabet by 2, that's 13 weeks. So you'd contact two letters once every 13 weeks, and then you're 4 times a year. And that really makes it easy to not have to think about who you need to contact. And then other contacts or things that you can do are like the birthday smart plans, which are going to be one way to contact them every year is their birthdays or their coming back to their birthdays or their home anniversaries. We send them a handwritten birthday card or a handwritten home anniversary card to make those actually even easier. Will come up. I have to go.
You say you contact text messages, phone calls, other emails.
I typically try to contact people in the way they want to be contacted. So people 35 and younger, it's going to be a text message, almost all of them. Kind of in the middle there, it might be a text, it might be an email, some people's Facebook Messenger. There's people in our database that the only way I contact them is through Facebook Messenger. And then some are emails. I know no one in our database, but I know that like Peter Morkel has people he just does pop-bys just to stop and see him with, something little. But one thing that I do to make the birthday cards, basically every Tuesday I write birthday cards, home anniversary cards. I've just created multiple scripts that are, just very generic so that I don't have to think about what to write. And then for home anniversary cards, I actually have 10 different scripts. So every year they get a different script so that I'm not using my brain for anything when I'm writing these. I just basically just copying it. And to be honest, if it were available when I set these up, I would have just used ChatGPT. So
With the command,
Mhm.
I assume that just auto populates all this, so you're sending an email out to, let's say, 100 people, it's gonna auto populate that person's name and all the pertinent
Yep.
information for that person.
Yeah, so if we come back to the design. Actually, I don't run any, it doesn't say anything on there, like I puts their email in, but I don't do any, like it's not a personalized, yeah. Command has that ability. Like you can see here, since we're a team, I don't know if on individual accounts it does it this way or not, but it just kind of puts filler text. It says agent first name, agent last name, this, because then it's whoever's assigned the contact will pop up here. But that's, I didn't do that in Strippo, that's command that adds that. And it does the same thing with the market center information and all the legal footer and unsubscribe. Everything is done through command.
But if you wanted to for your clients, you could.
Yes.
You just have to-
Yeah, you'd basically just do the same thing when you're, yep. I don't think I can do it from a one that I've already, but yeah, you could just basically, it has the, just quickly pull this up.
And you can't do your scripts in command.
My birthday scripts.
Yeah, just various scripts in command. Or you can't.
Yeah, you can, but those are handwritten cards. So those,
Oh, those are. in.
yeah, these ones are just handwritten birthday cards. So I just grab a birthday card, home anniversary cards I put on a branded card, birthday cards, nothing real estate, nothing, anything. It's just, happy birthday, John. I hope you have an incredible day and wishing the best and many more to come. And I write it, handwritten it, send it out. So like this week I had 13 cards I wrote between, yeah. So, and then same thing with the home anniversaries. You could easily automate this as an email, but so few people get real mail that it's just, it's almost exciting to open something isn't something spammy.
Tell my kid that. I was like, when you're a kid, you get mail, you're like, oh, it's a birthday card. It's, something that's,
Yeah.
Now it's just.
Yeah. So my mom sends her own birthday cards and she does put time and thought into putting like messages in her cards. And she does have a better return on the cards than I do. But I writing birthday cards for 2 people. So I'm busy. So, and I honestly just need to make as little decisions every day as possible. So having just a script and not having to be like, okay, went on with Tyler? Oh, went to Disneyland, and I don't want to have to research anything to send out these cards. I just want to get them out to people as quickly as possible. And that's another one of those things that when you're first building your database, if you don't have their birthday in your database, that gives you a really good excuse to call them or text them and say, hey, I'm just looking at my notes. I don't know when your birthday is. Would you mind telling me? And I think I've only had 2 people ever not give us their birthday because it's pretty exciting to people. So, yeah, so actually thinking about it, there's a book called The 7 Levels of Communication that talks about how much impact versus, if this will load, I'll show you. This is another class that I've taught before. That shows how much an interaction impacts the, let's see if we can, my graphics are too big. Come on. Should be about this one. We can probably just Google it. But handwritten notes are higher on the impact level than an email. I don't know how to spell pyramid. So basically, this is the pyramid. Oh, I don't want to. so the lower down on it is the less impact that it has. So you've got, it's really bad. You've got advertising, direct mail. So that's going to be things like generic postcard, I do send, electronic communication. So this is going to be your emails, handwritten notes fall here, phone calls, events and seminars, and one-on-one meetings. So basically the higher up you go into this pyramid, the more impact it's going to have. Here we go. Here's the impact. So the top they call the influential zone, and then the bottom is more informational. So you're giving out, more mass information through advertising or direct email or direct mail or emails, as opposed to where you're actually trying to influence a behavior. So we'll go back to the actual slides. That's pretty cool. Are you Google? There you are. So yes, setting up smart plans will help you systematize what you're doing, because to me that's the hardest part of this job is when you wake up every morning, who do I contact? Who am I prospecting? What are my activities that are going to provide me the most opportunities to talk to the right people at the right time? Do we have any ahas on that?
I like the idea of putting getting your events, scheduling out your events, and then you can, backwards plan
Yeah.
all communications you do with that.
I actually have, I forgot about this. I have kind of the way I plan it. So this here is how I basically set it up at the beginning of the year. Each different things are color coordinated. So the kind of gold color, I guess, is postcards. So I just like, okay, so first thing I would do is come in and add events, because then once I have the events, I can add, all right, pool party. So I know the month before that, I'm adding a pool party postcard. We were going to do a season splash, so that was going to be the season splash postcard. Like we were going to do both pool events. We decided to kill the one. So same thing with like the Easter egg hunt. Apparently I did not send a Easter egg postcard, but I'm pretty sure I did. But basically this is how I built out that plan, is that I want to make sure that I'm doing multiple activities every month, so that yeah, and so you've got the month, and then over here it's the week that it's going to go out. So postcards are usually, or emails are usually the third week. This week got pushed to the fourth. I don't know why, actually they're all showing on the fourth. Apparently I did something wrong, and it might be how but yeah. So that's how I built it out. Just, and mind you, I do this for our team, so we're doing a ton of stuff. But I really would just plan out, okay, how do I contact and build it around the two events the office is doing, and then either pop buys or the monthly emails, just different value adds that you're sending to people. I know that like the Wild team, they actually are sending weekly emails. I don't know how to create an email that has enough value to send it weekly. I probably should just get onto their email list and see how they're doing it, because I would love more contacts with our people, but I also worry about unsubscribe rate, because I personally am if you hit me at the wrong time, I'm unsubscribing even if I like you. So it's like I really want to keep that our numbers are quite low on our unsubscribed. See if I can think we can look at our numbers here, are really low. So things that I focus on in my role is that our overall database health, my goal is to keep it above 65% for everyone in our stuff. You can actually compare this. I find this really fun. If you compare it to, let's go agents in my state, and it doesn't seem to be working. When it works, it's really cool. It shows you how much you have versus people like in the top production brackets above mine, stuff like that. But if we come and look at the email metrics, this is where the 36 sending stuff through email is going to show up. So like this month, we've only sent one email so far. 99.7% were delivered. The 1-ish percent, 2 emails weren't delivered. So I'll need to look into those email addresses and figure out why. 57.3 were opened, 15% were clicked. I can't remember what Google's numbers of good are, but I want to say this is like supposed to be 3% or better. So, and then we had 1 person unsubscribe. I actually knew that one. So that's what I watch, trying to make sure that I'm sending out stuff that isn't causing huge spikes in that, because if they're not getting the emails, all of a sudden that's 12 less contacts a year, which, that puts us with our 47, it puts us, actually it's 24 contacts because they won't get either of the emails. So it really, with our business model, cuts deeply into that. So, all right, keep moving on. How are we doing on time? Okay, so the ahas to achievement. So what or how has your thinking changed? Any new mindsets? I am highly unorganized, like everywhere. Like it's ADHD everywhere. So I have to have, like, I've probably created 1,000 documents that I've never opened again, but there's like 4 that I really use all the time. And that's ultimately been, I think, the keys to our success. When I joined in I am not good at remembering exact numbers, but when I joined in 2020, I think she closed 29 in 2019. When I joined in 2020 through COVID, I believe we closed, I want to say 51. So our business almost doubled. And it was none of me doing anything other than sending emails, postcards, helping with Facebook, like all back end stuff that she should be doing, but she didn't have a system, and it just wasn't getting done. Like she would send an email, and then 3 or 4 months later she'd send an email, and it really, and then even in this year, right now we're down transactions from last year, but I think dollar GCI we're going to be really close to where we were last year. And it's just, we're at 87% of our business comes from repeat and referral clients. And then like this year, we've had 5 agent referrals from out of state. And yeah, it's all about just staying top of mind, constantly emailing, and being systematic with it. Yeah, it's definitely working. And it just comes down to, I don't have to reinvent the wheel every day. And that's why I have all the spreadsheets. And like, I actually have that graphic I keep pulling up with the 47 contacts. It's right above my monitor. So when I sit down, I look at it and like, okay, this is what I'm doing today. And then once I hit about 11, I just kind of start going wherever, because I don't, my days, what I need to get done is done by then. So do we have anything else that Okay, so let's talk about the success. Oh, this is where you're supposed to be making these contacts to help with your daily success systems. I was talking earlier about the 10-5-1 social media. That's really where our business started. Was my wife really doesn't like just calling people. It's kind of against her belief that it's not in their best interest just to call and chat, whatever. And following basically this 10-5-1, which is going to be liking or hearting, whatever, 10 different posts type things. It's going to be 10 engagements, 5, can't remember what the 5 is right now.
Someone likes.
5 comments, and then 1 either direct message or post a day. And that's still going on every single day. I would say those numbers are really low for what she does, but yeah. As a reminder to adhere to the TCPA, don't call people that you're not supposed to. Make sure you're checking the do not call list. I believe you can email somebody you've worked with in the last 3 years, but I'll read through that, make sure you're not breaking rules. I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in a relationship with me. Okay, so basically we're at the point where it wants us to role play. I don't really feel like there's ways to role play in this. Do you guys have any specific questions or anything about anything we've talked about or our business? Anything? Happy to sit here and answer questions for you.
What were the handwritten notes?
The handwritten notes?
Yeah.
I don't know on the daily success system. That is not one of the classes I've taught. Oh, I'm guessing. No, I guess yeah. It wants you. Part of your daily success system would be writing 10 handwritten notes to people.
Just think about how my mom did.
There are
There are programs you can use that.
Yeah.
And what you wanted to say,
I-
and we'll print it out.
I actually have a robot. I don't use it. I built it, had it running, but we you go in and you write your letters in these boxes and then you scan it in and then they create a font for you. And then I have a robot that can actually with a pen write, but it was more work than just handwriting with cards. So I have it, doesn't do anything, but there are options. You can have them typed. But yeah, basically handwritten notes just are like back on that pyramid. It's higher up than, it's kind of in the no man's land between influential and informational because you're doing something for them, by sending them, hey, I was thinking about you, whatever. And it's more impactful than like a written letter or an email or a text or something because it's, it takes more effort from you to do it, which is going to translate. Anyone have any other questions about 36 Touch or? Yeah,
Deal with buyer and, I'm sorry, builder incentives. Not much.
what do you mean by that?
So like builder, they're running an incentive like that. $5,000 for professions,
Mhm.
closing, whatever. How do you find that information? Like what builders are doing what incentives?
The way that we typically, we've been doing it long enough that we have established with most builders, good relationships with the agents that are better at each of them. So we'll just text them. That's one of the things that actually, it's on my to-do list. It doesn't get done very often, but for social media content creation, I should be texting them probably every other week and just saying, hey, what deals do you have right now so that we can market on our social media that, hey, we know this builder doing this. I'm supposed to be doing it, but it's not getting done as often as it should. But that's basically how I do it, is either send them an email or a text and just say, hey, just curious what you're doing right now, And then we always evaluate, like when we're working with the buyer, if their lender is offering some incentive, we still are going to shop another lender just to make sure that the benefit they're getting for working with the preferred lender is actually better than what they'd get working with someone with better fees. Or one of our favorite programs is with MACU. There's a first-time home buyer loan. It does have a higher origination fee, but it doesn't have PMI. It's a conventional back loan with no money down. So it's Mountain America Credit Union. And so it's one that often will beat, depending on what's important to the client, it'll often beat other no money down programs or low money down far better than like an FHA that, you have to refinance to get the PMI off later. And
You talk to some, I've noticed that, like you talk to the realtors that are there, you just go to their house, they're doing their focus, their base house, they show everybody, you talk to them, they'll put it on the email. And say, hey, and because it's usually monthly, they change it up, and so they'll send you an email, hey, this month's incentive, blah, blah. And this is incentive. So they'll put it in the email.
yeah, so several of them will put me on email lists without ever even talking to them. So I'd say I probably get 4 a month from builders or whatever that come to the email that's with the pull it off of the database. That either the MLS or Association of Realtors.
See, I want those. I don't want the sales calls from these
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah, for me, those ones are nice. It's a good way to keep a pulse on the industry. One way, like you can just go preview homes and just go and pop by an open or the model home and just say, hey, I'm just wanted to come look through and got clients just want to know all about your incentives and your stuff. They'll take a couple minutes to educate you on what they're offering, and then you can preview the home, kind of see what trends are coming, just know more about the different areas. When you're getting the clients that are looking for it, you'll help make you look more educated on it because you've already out there and you've met people. So yeah, my favorites when you go and like it's their model home and door handles are off skew, and it's like, this is the best of your work and this is what you're presenting. Like, just
Sell that on the Brady. Yeah. I put one to my $3 million home and your window case. Yeah. Right.
yeah, I love nitpicking the parade of homes. My favorites to pick are the showers though, because you go into these houses that are like $5 million and I'm like, my shower's nicer than this. Why did you put one shower head? Like, it's huge, one shower head. What's the point?
Did you go on the last one?
Yeah.
They have the tub that looked like a hammer. It's like suspended.
I like that.
It's cool. I'm just thinking, I don't know how I can get into that. I mean, I have a hard time.
Yeah, it's like a stone hammock and it's like suspended over a bed of rocks. It was crazy. Yeah, it looks cool, but
Did it fill up? The hammer fills up?
it would, yeah. I mean, pretty shallow. Yeah, I have no idea. July. I think it's July.
Did that mirror cover they have parking lot?
Oh yeah. That one finds its way into a garage pretty much every year. I think we've got that poster like 4 times now. They Shelby Cobra. There's like a aluminum polished Shelby Cobra that finds its way to, I don't know if it's the builders or whose, but they park it in the garage, give out posters. My kids always pick them up. They love it. For me, it was the NASCAR up in, I was in Mapleton. Like, I could move to this neighborhood. That's somebody I want to be my neighbor. But yeah, any other questions about how we're running our business or anything?
Business, just you and your wife and,
So it's me, my wife, and my mom. My wife and my mom are agents. My mom's been doing it since I was 12. My wife's been in it for 10 years. But my mom joined us only like 18 months ago. She's been kind of on her own most of that time. And then we have a virtual assistant who does like video editing. I got tired of editing videos for YouTube and stuff, so I hired her. She does that, and she does our TikTok editing. And then we have a licensed transaction coordinator. She's not dedicated to our team. She does a couple other agents in the office, but we've had dedicated ones to our team before. And when they left, we decided to not take the full cost, and honestly, she's been amazing. So that's been awesome. And then I also have my sister-in-law who helps with our funny Facebook posts just to keep engagement up.
When you brought these people on, are they employees or are they independent contractors?
All independent contractors. We have had employees in the past. So like when we've had a TC who was on our team, she was an hourly employee. But currently they're all like our VA, we pay cyberbacker. So she's a cyberbacker employee. My sister-in-law is just a 1099 employee. Our TC gets paid from the office through our closing checks, so we don't have to do anything with her tax stuff. So yeah, we do have our accountant does all of our payroll stuff. So when we have employees, it does go through them, but it's
Not about hiring employees.
yeah. If you're thinking about it, I would recommend listening to a book called Who Not How. It's Ben Hardy and I can't remember the other person, but it's a really good one that about finding the who's in your life to take off the projects, kind of the 80-20 principle, the Pareto principle of not doing the tasks that you're not good at and don't enjoy doing, and finding somebody who's good and enjoys those so that you can focus on the things that actually mean the most in your business. So, and that's really what we've done with our businesses. We just keep taking stuff off Becca that is not appointments, making contacts or closing, so that the less she has to do, the more she can do. So, yeah.
Thanks, Brad.
You're welcome.
Great.
Brady.
Great.
You guys have any questions? I'm always open. I do not, I